My interest in medicine came because of a book, and for me the book was Of Human Bondage by Somerset Maugham. There was something about the description of the character Philip arriving on the wards, and Somerset Maugham's description said that Philip saw humanity there in the rough, the artist's canvas. The idea that you could have a discipline where what mattered was your interest in mankind, what mattered was your curiosity about the human condition, what mattered was, the canvas of people. That just seemed to really excite me, and it made medicine seem like a passionate and romantic pursuit, and I've never lost sight of that. So it's incredible to me that a book brought me to medicine, and later on that medicine would bring me to write books. It's been important, I've always felt, to put words to what it is medicine is doing, what the obstacles are, what the dangers are, where the passion lies. We have a job ahead of us translating what we do to society in a way that's understandable, and similarly, understanding what society wants of us. They want our undivided attention. They want that ritual to be intact, and they want the sanctity of the patient-physician relationship to be just that, to feel special, sacred. So I think teaching is part of the grand tradition of medicine. There's a great sense that I'm part of a chain, and that this chain has many links, and you can trace it back as far as you want, Hippocrates, Galen. But in America, we trace it back to William Osler. And Osler said he wanted his gravestone to read, "I taught medical students at the bedside." And to me, that's a simple goal, is to introduce them to that magic of being with the patient at the bedside, and in plucking the obvious things and not sending people for unnecessary tests and consultants when the diagnosis is staring right at you. And it's a great privilege to introduce that skill to medical students. And I think it's what medical students want to learn. They're hoping that you'll introduce them to the grand mystery of the body, and to be able to read it for clues and make it tell stories like Sherlock Holmes. And I love being able to do that. I love walking down the corridors with the students and stopping and saying, "Look at that patient in this long, long corridor, and look at their gait, and what are we learning?" And it's amazing how much there is to see. I think that reading literature, is terribly important for medicine. I tell that to my students all the time, partly because in the course of your life, your ability to imagine other people's experiences is so limited. I mean, you can only know what you know growing up, and everything else you will only know vicariously by walking in someone else's shoes. And a great way to do that is fiction. And I always point out to my medical students who are, often, "Well, I'm so busy, I only read biographies." And I said, "Really, you're busy? You don't think fiction's important? Have you heard of Uncle Tom's Cabin?" And I tell them, Uncle Tom's Cabin ended slavery in America. A political scientist didn't do that. A president didn't do that. One book captured the public's imagination and changed the mindset. And that's the power of fiction. So I think literature has a terribly important place in medicine. For me personally, I think I write in order to understand what I'm thinking. Sometimes you live an experience, but something about the writing of it allows you to extract meaning, to come to some sort of, uber understanding of what that really was about.